Hey everyone, and welcome. Are you ready for an awesome adventure? Today, we're going to follow a tiny little drop of water on its amazing trip all around our world. Let's jump right in. You know, have you ever really thought about that? One minute, there's a big, splashy puddle right there on the sidewalk. And then, poof, a little while later, it's totally gone. Where does it go? Is it some kind of magic? Well, it's not exactly magic, but it is a super cool journey. You see, all the water here on Earth, the water in your cup, in the big oceans, and in the clouds, is always on the move. It's on a never-ending adventure, going up, up, up into the sky, and then coming right back down again. So let's break it down into 4 easy steps, okay? First, we'll see the water travel up to the sky. Then, we'll find out how it makes clouds. After that, we'll watch it splash back down to Earth. And finally, we'll see how it gets all gathered together to start the whole thing over again. Okay, so where does this amazing journey even begin? Well, it all starts with a little bit of help from our giant glowing friend way up in the sky, the sun. And it's got a pretty amazing magic trick up its sleeve. Okay, so this first trick is called evaporation, and it's the answer to our disappearing puddle mystery. When the sun shines down and warms up the water in a puddle or a lake or even the huge ocean, it turns that water into something called water vapor. It's a gas that's totally invisible and so light that it just floats right up into the air. Okay, teachers, this is a perfect spot to pause. Ask your class, what was that super special name for when the sun heats up the water and makes it float away? Did you all guess evaporation? That's it, you got it. All right, so all that invisible water stuff, the water vapor, is floating way up into the sky. But what happens when it gets all the way up there? Let's find out. Whoa, hold on a second. I get that the water vapor goes up, but how does something you can't even see turn into a big, fluffy white cloud? And yeah, if clouds are full of water, why don't they just come crashing down? Those are fantastic questions, and the answer is a big, sciencey word, condensation. You see, way up high, the air is really chilly. When the water vapor gets cold, it changes back into teeny tiny little droplets of water. It's kind of like when you take a nice warm shower and you see all that steam fog up a cold mirror. All those little droplets start to stick together, and when millions and millions of them huddle up, they make a cloud. Wow, look at all those clouds on the screen. Everybody, can you point to the fluffiest one you see? Go ahead. That's awesome. You are literally pointing at billions of tiny water droplets all hanging out together in the sky. Okay, so our clouds are all formed and they're just hanging out up there. But they can't stay up there forever, right? Now comes the super fun part, finding out how all that water gets back down to us here on Earth. This part is called precipitation, and it's the reason clouds don't just float around forever. As more and more of those tiny water droplets join the cloud party, the cloud gets heavier and heavier and heavier until, boom, it just can't hold anymore. And splash! All that water comes falling back down to the ground. But you know, precipitation isn't just about rain. If it gets cold enough up there, those water droplets can freeze into beautiful little snowflakes, and no two are ever the same. And if it's super cold and windy, they can even turn into little balls of ice we call hail. Ouch! And just like that, the water is back on Earth. But wait, the adventure isn't over yet. In this last step, we'll see how everything gets ready to go on the big adventure all over again. This last step is called collection. All that water, it has to go somewhere, right? It flows into little streams, and those streams flow into rivers, and the rivers flow into lakes and the great big oceans. And once all the water is collected there, well, what do you think happens next? You're right. The sun comes out and the whole great adventure begins again. Let's chant it together. Ready? Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection, and around and around and around it goes. Wow, you guys are officially water cycle experts. So I think it's time for a little quiz to show off everything you know. You ready for a challenge? Let's do it. Okay, question number 1. Think hard. What is it called when the sun's warm rays turn water into an invisible gas that floats up? Did you get it? It's evaporation. Yes, you got it. All right, here's question number 2. When all those teeny tiny water droplets huddle up together way high in the sky, what do they make? That's right. They make clouds. You're doing great. And for the last question, what's that big word for when water falls back down to Earth, either as rain or snow or hail? The answer is precipitation. Awesome job, everyone. You totally nailed it. Okay, but before we go, I have an amazing secret to tell you. Get this. The water in your water bottle right now could be the exact same water that a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex drank millions and millions of years ago. Isn't that wild? The water cycle just keeps cleaning it and reusing it over and over again. So here's a little mission for you. The next time you look out your window, try to be a water cycle detective. What can you see? Are there fluffy clouds forming? Is it raining? Or can you see the sun doing its magic trick on a puddle? The Great Water Adventure is happening all around you all the time. Thanks for exploring with us today.